Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the GOAT Picks, and I give you the best predictions and the best picks. I'm going to go over the UFC 327 in Miami, Florida. We're going to go over the main card. Guys, subscribe and like. I'm trying to get the channel growing. We got 1 subscriber. Woohoo! Thank you. You know who you are. So we're going to go with the first fight of the main card. We got Nate Landwehr versus Cub Swanson. Landwehr, he's a dog. He's a brawler. He breaks his opponents with pressure. He just doesn't have that one-shot KO power. He just keeps the pace, keeps the pressure, and just keeps picking away, and he, hurts his opponents that way and just breaks them down. Whereas, Cub Swanson, he's 42. I just don't know what's his mindset. I heard this is his retirement. He's going to retire after this fight. So, is he going in there just because he has to fulfill the contract? Or is this just a fight for him to end on a good note? And, it's hard when someone has one fight left in their mind. It was almost like the fight with Chezzy and Nico Price, It looked like Nico Price just went in there. It was his last fight. He just pretty much gave his back and got tapped out. So how is Cub Swanson going to be coming into this? He's 42. I know he's been through a lot of wars, but is he going to still have good cardio? And it's just going to come down to this. I would say first round, if Cub Swanson he's going to be the dangerous. He's going to be throwing crazy power shots, and that's where Nate's got to be careful. He is a brawler, so he needs to be careful with his chin because he could end early. But again, if it goes to the round 2 and 3, I think with the pressure that Nate will just take over and win the decision. So give me Nate Landwehr, and off the legend, Cub Swanson goes into retirement.
Oh, man, hey, Nate the Train, baby. I think I still got a job after that.
The next fight of the night, we got Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Dominic Reyes, he's a southpaw sniper. He's got clean, straight punches. Really good countering and timing with his strikes. Johnny Walker, on the other hand, he's wild, he's explosive, but he's unpredictable. So we just don't know, what kind of Johnny Walker we're also going to get. Are we going to get the Johnny Walker who fought last a couple months ago? And I think that was Zhang, I can't remember his name, but he beat him in his hometown. He was an underdog. He looked great there. But are we going to get a different Johnny Walker who just goes in there and gets chinned by Dominic Reyes? Dominic Reyes, I got to go with Dominic Reyes. That's my pick because, he's been in more wars. I know they both have a great chin where they get touched and they've been knocked out. But Dominic Reyes, I think he has got the more experience, the more IQ. I think he's more confident this round. Sometimes people get, nervous with what kind of confidence is Dominic Reyes going to have. But I think in this fight, he's going to look good. He's going to look like OG Dominic Reyes. Johnny Walker, on the other hand, I just can't pick him because I don't know what Walker we're going to get that night. So give me Dominic Reyes. So we got Curtis Blades versus Josh Hockett. Josh Hockett, he's got a lot of momentum right now. A lot of hype. He looks good, after the post-fight speeches. A lot of momentum. Everyone says he's got great takedown defenses. He's got good KO power. But again, if you guys look up his stats compared to Curtis Blades has fought the most top tier. He's fought Francis Ngannou. He's fought Tom Aspinall. He's fought Sergio Plasovich. He's fought Junior Dos Santos. Even the size comparison. Listen to this. Curtis Blades, he's 6'4". He has an 80-inch reach, and he's 258 pounds. Josh Hockett, 6'1", 73 inches, 234 pounds. I mean, Curtis Blades is way bigger than him. Yeah, people were saying, Curtis Blades is going to shoot, and Josh Hockett's going to stuff the takedown. And then what? Curtis Blades is going to keep doing that. I don't think Curtis Blades is going to get tired. I think Josh Hockett's going to get tired. I think Curtis Blades, this is like a disrespectful fight to Curtis Blades because he's ranked number 5. I think Curtis Blades is going to school Josh Hockett and just teach him some lessons and humble Josh Hockett. And I think Curtis Blades will then say, put some respect on my name, shouldn't be doubting me, because a lot of people are picking this Josh Hockett. I think it's just too soon of a fight for him. I think he is great and he has good talent, but against Curtis Blades, wrestler versus wrestler, I think Curtis Blades will get him. We might even see a ground and pound by Curtis Blades, but give me Curtis Blades.
Huge elbows! Curtis Razor Blades!
That's what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. Big.
We got Azmat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. Whew. I think Azmat, I can't remember, but I want to say he's like 16-0 right now versus Paulo Costa, who's lost a couple times. You know, Azmat, a lot of key things with him is he's got KO power with short burst. His last 5 fights, he's finished 4 of his opponents with the KO. Things with Paulo Costa, I mean, he's almost like in that Israel Adesanya era. You know, he's fought some greats. Paulo Costa, you know, he's hung with Izzy. Well, he got pretty much dog walked by Izzy, but you know, he's fought Yoel Romero, went to wars with him. But the thing with you know, Costa is his cardio. I mean, I question his cardio. I question his inconsistent activity. You know, he's moving up in a weight class. So is his power going to still be the same since he's moving up in a weight class? Is his cardio, you know, going to be an issue? So, you know, back then he was just a pressure striker, great heavy body kicks. But again, give me the 16-0, you know, Azmat. And the main event of the evening, we got Jiří Procházka versus Carlos Ulberg. Man, I was a huge fan of Carlos. I still am. But when I think about statistically and matching up with these fights of Carlos versus Jiří, you know, Jiří, he's just so wild. He's unpredictable. The movements, the angles, you know, whereas Carlos, he's more of a technical striker. He's got really good defense. He's crisp with his punches. He's on a 9-0 win streak. But, you know, Procházka, he's been the champion. He's fought the elite. Names like Pereira, Hill, Roundtree. You know, this is Ulberg's first title fight that he's entering. You know, Procházka, he's been there a ton of times. I mean, Procházka, he punches and kicks trees. That's what he trains with. No pads, no punching bags, trees. You know, he sits on a freaking giant boulder in the middle of nowhere with his eyes closed, motionless, like he's waiting for a dragon to give him a quest, you know? He stares at himself in the mirror as a mental warfare. You know, he says it helps with his mental training. I just think he's, you know, Jiří Procházka, he's just in the wrong era. And he's a warrior, dude. I mean, I don't think Carlos will be able, you know, he does better with his fights when he can, you know, get some readings and pick you apart. But I just think Jiří's going to be too unpredictable for him. And give me Jiří Procházka to win this match. So, my pick is Jiří. Guys, subscribe and like. I'm going with the Warrior.